Mission Monday update. My name is Sue Roskoff, and my screen says Kurt right now. I don't know how I missed that. I will switch that soon. He'll be here later, so don't be fooled. We are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central to find out all the things going on with Project Die Hard. And this is a biggie. There's so much going on this week. Hang on to your shorts because you're going to be amazed at all the things that have happened and that are going to be happening this week. It's crazy. It's amazing. It's awesome. And you're in the right place. Come on and join us here. Grab something to drink, sit back and listen up because there's a lot to learn today. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the one and only Brian Gibson. He is our founder and president of Project Die Hard to give us all of those updates of the things going on. How you doing, Brian? It's been a lot lately. How are you?
Running ragged, but blessed by all get out. Just off the top of my head, Woodlawn Church, thank you, God bless. Reedland Farley Fire Department, thank you, God bless. Too many people to name by name showed up for the dinner. And the Operation Wisdom. I mean, look at this. We got ideas after ideas after ideas that we're going to have to go through and figure out who is what and what is who and who is worth listening to. Because they proved to me they've earned us to take a look at them. They came to Paducah, Kentucky.
It's perfect. I haven't even heard all the things that happened yet. So you guys are all finding out at the same time here, which is perfect. I want to know more.
Okay, well, let's see. Friday night, we had our dinner with Die Hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
We invited ministries, local leaders, community people. We had McCracken County Judge Executive Clymer in attendance. Assemblyman Bowman and Assemblyman Ben Adders, all from McCracken County. They came, they saw, they learned. Ryan Hunt, our keynote speaker, could not make it.
Oh, dang.
I know, but that was Satan attacking our mission because he texted me Wednesday afternoon. I have to go for emergency root canal Friday morning.
Wow.
I said, it's all good, brother. It's all good.
Yeah, I got to take care of that.
So, Loopy Larry's here in Paducah. Catered the event. Great food. We had some left over, but that was a blessing in disguise because we took it over to Woodlawn Church, stuck it in the fridge, and we had lunch the next day.
Oh, perfect.
We do not waste funds.
Perfect.
Again, Operation Wisdom, the deep dive. If you were on our networks, you saw me try Saturday, and we couldn't get all the kinks checked out because Sue wasn't there, right? And we improvised, we adapted, and overcame. But if you are following on our Facebook page, we did do a Facebook Live for that deep dive. And a big shout out to Bradley Kale of Michelson Jewelers here. He represented the Torah. Pastor Brad Henson from Woodlawn Church represented the Bible. and we had a very, very good conversation. And on hope and kingdom building, and it was just great. ECC, our mission supplier of culverts and rebar, showed up. All good. So now that was the weekend. But I think now we got to go into what's happening now. What do you think?
There's a bunch coming up this week. So if you want to go ahead and share, let's see, Wednesday, there's a big thing.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Here we go. There we go. Okay, folks. Wait, that's not going to work, is it? That's not going to work. Screw it. Okay, here we go. Remember, Fill the Can is going on right now. You can give to virtual cans. These are the official physical can locations. And as I promised, every week during Fill the Can, we're going to give you an update. So, starting last Monday, Memorial Day, to this Monday, and this is for the general fund can. Do we see a problem there, folks?
What? Oh, man. Okay, people need to share this out. What the heck? How is it that we started already and it's a 0? There's a glitch somewhere there. I think it's the people not sharing it out enough. What the heck?
I don't know what it is. All I know is if you take you're the educator. Let's be nice. 20 by 7. How much is that, Sue?
140.
140 veterans took their own lives this past week. I'm just putting it out there, folks. 140 veterans took their lives this past week. Monday, June 9th, we will give you another update.
This is where
Our fellowship breakfast is this Wednesday at the IHOP in Paducah, Kentucky. It's the first Wednesday of the month. What does that mean? Fellowship, camaraderie, support. Thank you, and God bless Senior Helpers of Western Kentucky for covering the Paducah Fellowship Breakfast. Bob Rush Fellowship Breakfast is on hold until we get the support we need. That's volunteers and patrons. I'm pulling no bones here, boys and girls. We can't do this without your help. And then the really big thing coming is next Saturday. If you're in Western Kentucky, Eastern Missouri, Southern Illinois, make the trip. Come and see. As we put out, look, folks, the more people that see Forward Operating Base Rush, the faster it gets completed. The faster it's completed, the faster we build the next one. Is it that hard? Do I feel I might be a little rough tonight, Sue?
It's all good. I get it.
All right, what would you say at O Dark 30? We are introducing Veteran Voice. We need content for our network. If you have a message of hope for veterans, reach out. If you have a veteran issue that you think needs to be brought out to the forefront, then reach out. You got to explain the issue and the fix, though. You're not coming on to our networks just to whine and cry, because I don't whine and cry. I do. So, my voice at projectdiehard.org. Remember, check your vet. We are bringing hope to the nation's heroes, saving veterans' lives with facilities and outreach programs. Like, follow, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Look us up, scan the code, give what you can. I might have another one. Nope. All right. What else do we need to talk about?
Well, I want to make sure that everybody is clear with Saturday. That I'm going to say it again at the end. Go to Fob Rush. If you can be there in person, that is going to be the heck of a great experience. You'll get to see the land there, experience what's going on there, and from 1 to 3 Central is when we will be live streaming on the telethon.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big deal. So we want to make sure
it's a huge deal.
The more people we get in person there, it will speak volumes to the audience to be able to see lots of people there. If we see one person there, it will be a big thing. But if we can see 10 people, 100 people, can you imagine the impact that makes? Because what did you just say? We lost 140 veterans in the last week to suicide.
Well, that's just at 20 a day. We know it's more than that.
We know it's more than that. So if we could get that many people on site and be able to have a visual like that, I mean, when you said that, I know that the numbers are there, but when you see it and when you actually take that moment to think about it, it's like, I don't think people don't think about it. It's not in front of them. It's not something that people want to think about because, everything's fine, right? There's nothing to see here. It's like, no, are you kidding me? There's a problem. There's a massive problem.
You mean the 3 last night?
So you were notified of 3. You personally were notified of 3 just last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. People need to pay attention to what's going on with our veteran community and realize that there's some work to be done. So we need to be behind. Our veterans have supported us. We need to do our part and support back. It's our turn. So that's. I hope that the event on Saturday can be a wake up call for people, so they can realize, because there's people out there that have no idea.
What do I tell everybody all the time? God has the person out there that can fund this whole mission.
Exactly.
They just haven't heard of us yet.
And the number of ears, number of eyes that will be getting the chance to see and hear things in the next week.
On Saturday?
Yeah. I'm excited for this. There's just a quick rundown. There's actually going to be 8 hours worth of program going on. We have 2 of the hours. So and I'm giving you all Central Time because that's where we are. So here we go. Central Time. This is what you can expect. From 11 a.m. until 1 p.m., Jay Stoyan with the Disability Channel is going to be having programming running out of Toronto. And it sounds like there's going to be a lot of music, a lot of entertainment stuff going on, some interviews. He's going to pass the baton to us. We will be right here on this screen doing this. You're going to be live on site there at Fob Rush. We've got a lineup of people joining us, and a few more that are still making their way into that lineup. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. We're going to have some familiar faces, and I think people are going to really like to see what's coming and who's all there, and even a cooking demo. We have our own executive chef who is hopped on board with everything here. Angeline's going to be having a cooking demo that is going to be paced out through the event. Once we're done, we pass the baton to Phoenix, Arizona. They're going to run for 2 hours from 3 to 5 Central, and then they hand off to Los Angeles, and they actually have some headline kind of entertainment going on for that last 2 hours, which is going to be fun to see who they all have. I know the suite's going to be part of it. So if you guys are familiar with Ballroom Blitz, Richie Honori is the drummer, and he is one guy who I know is going to be, he's going to have his face on here at some point because he's been a big backbone of why this is even happening. So with that, I know one of our guests that we're going to have on Saturday is with us today, and we'll be finding out a bit more here. Dan Barrett is a new friend of the family, so to speak here. We've been crossing paths with Dan quite a bit in the last few weeks, and I know he has some information that I definitely am looking forward to hearing more about. And his website alone says a lot, inspire.world. So Dan, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on in here so you can say hi and give us a bit more on what that is all about. So Dan, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you? Apologize for the attire. I was doing some work with a neighbor who, ironically enough, is a Navy veteran. He's got some water issues, so we're trying to fix that in his backyard. What we're going to do and put together is twofold. Number one, we're going to make a broad statement here on the telethon that any veteran or member of an active duty deployed serviceman or woman, we can offer them a 1099 job. There's no limit on the number of jobs I can offer. There's no geographic, I would say, location. If I wanted all of them in the Fort Bragg area or if I wanted them in Texas, it doesn't matter. We can add a ton of them. The other thing we will offer is like the work we've done with Brian and Project iHeart. We will put up a free fundraising site for any military organization that is helping veterans so they can continue to prosper their mission within their community. And hopefully with our help and theirs, they get to expand that mission and reach more veterans in need.
Awesome.
Okay, love it. Yeah, Dan, my team has told me a lot about you. Thank you. God bless for everything you're doing for the mission. Sean Thomas, is that one of yours?
Sean Thompson.
Thompson. My marketing person, she sent me this person sent me an email. It was sent to my marketing people. So just keeping it transparent that, hey, we're working it.
And Adeline wants to use your logo along with her logo for the Maroon Cafe and put material out there on her site that recognizes Project iHeart and the Maroon Cafe. So hopefully someone's reached out to you today, Brian, to get that approval.
Yeah, it was sent to Christy, who runs my marketing, who handles all the logos and stuff, so they can do all that. I don't know if you were in for the update, but my plate is pretty full this week leading up to the telethon and the FOB open house.
Understood. And we'll do everything we need to do in the background to help you out. It's kind of a hands-free, and then we will work to push this on your socials so you can start gleaning the benefit of having the site.
Cool. So, what made you decide to join our team and help us?
I didn't personally serve. I had a brother who served 23 years, Navy, retired as a commander. I saw the sacrifice that went into it. There's a lot of veterans that I've worked with throughout my career. I've often found that they have been the more accountable, more driven, more focused individuals. And if we can, my management team, my partners, all of us that run the company, we are looking to expand what we have and add more people to the mix. Unfortunately, I've been interviewing a lot of kids that are at college or just about to get out of college. And compared to a veteran, Brian, there's no comparison. It's not that I wish ill will upon them, but they do not have the drive, the motivation, the accountability. They're asking if they can be paid for training, which is something I've never heard in my professional career. I've worked 16, 17 years, 18 years for Hewlett Packard. I was an executive vice president for them. I just don't understand the mindset. And every veteran I've talked to, it's not a question of how much am I going to get paid? What does the pay structure look like? The first question they ask is, what is my responsibility and what do you expect of me? Clear definitions and clear accountability. That is the type of individual that I think we could reach tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of organizations and help them raise funds with.
Oh, of course. That's kind of like people go, why do people have to start as volunteers at Project Die Hard to even think about getting a paid position?
Well, in all fairness, it's like anything else. If you don't understand the mission, you don't understand what's being asked of you and how things operate within the organization, how can you be a valued member of that organization?
Yeah. Yeah. As I like to tell people, resumes, love them. They're good reading when I'm doing my morning constitutional, but that's about all they're good for.
I would say it's an art of the possible, maybe not based on reality.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I've met a lot of big on paper people that really have disappointed me over the past 7, 8 years.
What I look for in a group, and I see this embodied in a lot of veterans that I work with. My neighbor over here is working with the Project 22, same kind of thing with the veteran suicide piece, and various other things. If you go to an event, there's a lot of veterans who will sit in the back. They're the quiet person. They're not the most boastful. They're looking around. They're seeing what's going on. They're eyeing who's around them, basically surveying their landscape and understanding what there is and where threats, if any, might be. And then you come up and talk to them. They're very aware of what's going on. They have a plan. If something needs to be done, they know A, B equals C, and this is what we're going to do and get it done. Those are the type of people I like being around. Absolute problem solvers, roll up the sleeves, do whatever they have to do to get things done.
Yeah. Again, this is why we need as many people to come to our facility on Saturday. Come see what we're doing. Come see the plan. You know, we're not hiding nothing.
Absolutely makes sense. We're going to see if we can't, through what we're doing for you and what we're doing for others, Brian, seeing if we can't do, for example, like a featured charity of the week, and people that come to our site and buy stuff under our name, not under anybody's name. Our thought process would be remunerate a featured charity and do things of that nature. Having seen the sheet, when we roll that out here in the next 3 to 4 weeks, again, it's not right away, but about a month from now, the thought process would be put you guys as maybe first up so that you benefit from that. So we start moving that needle away from the zeros.
That would be a blessing.
Well, anything we can do to help.
Do you have any questions of me directly, brother? Ask me anything.
The only question is, how do you keep doing what you're doing and always have a positive attitude? That's very admirable.
Romans 15:13.
That's a great answer.
It's hope. Okay. I don't know what you know about my personal history, but when God saved my life, when I had the 45 in my mouth and put me on this mission, I know it's going to succeed.
You overcome those obstacles, it can do nothing but succeed, I think.
With God, everything is possible.
That's a good North Star to have, too. It's a lot better than all this social media that's out there nowadays that everyone believes in and takes a million pictures. I'd rather be doing what you're doing all day long than snapping selfies.
I get hollered at because how come you don't take pictures at your events? Because I'm busy networking and talking and sitting down with a veteran over a cup of coffee going, it's going to be okay, brother. I don't have time to take selfies, folks. I really don't.
Maybe we'll have to get Mark out at one of your events so he can realize what you're doing so he can stop harassing you.
Cool.
And then maybe find a way to eventually make it down. I'm at the northern end of the state. Saturday, my wife and I are doing, and our daughter-in-law is sitting for a bar test in the state of Illinois for a lawyer. And my son is sitting for a Series 7 test for Northwest Mutual. So my wife and I are on babysitting duties for our granddaughter, our one and only. Otherwise, I'd be there.
Brother, I will tell you like I tell everybody. If you want a tour of forward operating base Rush, right? I will make the time personally to give anybody a tour. I will. You tell me when you're coming down. I will move my schedule. I will move mountains. Sue can
I think I might come down with two or three veterans, Brian, and come down. One of which tours the country with a dog. She's sold everything. She's going to be added to our platform here very shortly, but she speaks to veteran suicide because she has tried twice. And the neighbor of mine that I was doing the work with, he has severe PTSD and he has a lot of rage issues, and he's trying to deal with a lot of that. So I think seeing a place like yours with those two individuals would probably be great. And more importantly, it introduces you to them, increases the network, and more importantly, gives them a resource they can reach out to.
Again, brother, that's what we're here for. All right, Sue, I'm sorry I hijacked you again. I do that.
You are doing great. I'm loving this. And that's where this is going to be a great connection, a great piece to add to the whole puzzle here. That is what's being put together. There's so many big things happening right here, right now. And you know, I want to add to that puzzle. We do have one more person in the background here that I would love to bring in. He's a gentleman that actually Kurt and I have known. I'm trying to remember how long we've known you, Mike. It's been, 10 years, 15 years maybe. And Mike brings a very unique aspect in. I'm going to have him come on in and say hi. And if you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself to the crew here, I'd really appreciate it. Welcome, Mike.
Sure. Thank you. 13 or 15
Somewhere
years.
in there, yeah.
Yeah, always. Definitely. My name is Mike Guerrero. I believe I had the opportunity to speak with both you, Dan, because you and I were on phone, and you as well. I'm sorry, yes. Brian is what? That's what I thought. Just want to make sure. And then quiet them wrong. So Brian Vidai, how I met a little bit about you. I have a question for you, and forgive me because I wish I knew the answer, but there was so much great information on the call that when I was introduced to you, but there was a gentleman, I want to say it's you, but or was it Richie, who was building in Northwest Illinois, the I want to say compound, but the estate where there's like a 10,000 square foot plot of land where there's going to be housing and
that's what we're building right now. 20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building.
20 acres at 10,000 square foot building. Okay, I keep saying 10. Okay, cool. Gonna have my facts right. 20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building on the land for housing. When
the facility is complete, it will provide skill training, counseling, therapies, transitional housing for 12 single veterans, and 2 veterans with their families for up to a year.
Nice. And I believe you're saying that one of your goals is to build those in every state across the U.S.
That is the goal.
Is that correct? Cool. Very cool. And then when you said if someone wants to come on down, was that what you're talking about? To check out the facility?
I invite anybody, come set up a tour. I will personally give time to those who want to see what we're doing.
Okay, cool. The reason why I ask is, and once we can do this after, have the conversation after the telethon is over, because there's a lot to do in the next few days. But I have two close friends, one of her goals is to help end hunger among veterans in Illinois and nationally. And the other is to help find or help create housing for veterans. So they both, I shared with them what you were talking about and what you're doing, and they both were very excited and would love to. And for them, it's a long-term game, much like your own, as far as they're building out their own businesses. And one of them's her whole personal, her husband's a Marine, and their whole family mission is to support and help as many Marines or not Marines, veterans as they can going through the decades to come, as long as they're able to do so, find housing, etc. So they really want to learn more about what you're doing, obviously.
That's the perfect partner we're looking for, because our community support program members, right? We only take the best, and we're building a long-term partnership. Okay.
Nice.
As the disability channel Susan was talking about, Jay Stollian, we already have an agreement there that they're bringing their programs, what they teach veterans, to our facilities.
Very cool.
Yeah, look, one organization can't do it all, folks. I know this.
No. That's right. Together we rise.
When we work together, more is done.
So true. Thank you once again for what you're doing and for sharing that.
Again, brother, you were backstage, but you heard, look, 2015, God saved my life. 2017, my best brother hung himself. 2018, Project Die Hard was born. 2020, we had the land and the building donated.
Wow.
I haven't stopped, and I won't.
I can believe it. Nice.
Well, and actually, Mike, I wonder if you want to just do a brief mention of the project that you're working on as well.
Okay, sure. In a nutshell, I'm helping to organize a 24-hour-long concert covering, the goal is 96 plus countries, but a global concert that will be performed through the youth ensembles, youth orchestras, youth organizations, anywhere from the indigenous nations up in the bayous of Canada and Australia and the US, etc., to villages in the global south, where we're bringing their voice, their music, their culture to the main stage to show the world that we may look different, we may talk different, but at the end of the day, we need to probably start trying to get along a little bit better. And the concert, it's called Pause for Peace, and that the goal is to get people to pause for 1 hour and listen to the music and reflect what does peace mean to them. And for all of us, when you hear the word peace, it has a different meaning. And it's not me to say what that should be. It's the goal is for the individual to reflect upon what does that mean to them and just enjoy the music and give the future leaders of the world, our youth, the ability to take stage and share their gifts through music, their national language of the world, through the Global Harmony Concert. So that takes place. It's going to start on September 21st, which is the International Day of Peace, and then it will go through a festival type setup and then conclude on October 4th, where we'll have the full youth show up. And then again, continue to pull organizations together, which is the reason why my company became into existence, 100 million strong, is I liken it to if I were to walk up to a dock and drop a pebble in the water, a little ripple will create. And if Dan were to drop a pebble in the water next to me, a ripple would happen. And then Brian drops a pebble and Kirk drops a pebble and Susan drops a pebble. And now there's lots of ripples. And that's all these individual programs that all of us are doing in our own way to bring good to humanity, to support our causes. But the problem is to your point, Brian, when we do it together, when we do it by ourselves, it's a small ripple and it dissipates. The goal now would be, imagine if we all walk up to the dock and drop a pebble in the pond at the exact same time. The ripple is going to become a wave. Then 1,000 drop a pebble, 10,000, 100,000, 100 million now drop a pebble in the pond. Now we have a tidal wave, a tsunami of good coming back into the world. And that's the goal with the organization, is to create the unity to bring everyone who has causes like what we all have together, so together we can rise.
Excellent.
My favorite saying is, by ourselves we can do amazing things, yet together we can climb the highest mountain.
Perfect. And yeah, Brian, I'm seeing you just got a text you need to reply to there. When veterans reach out, you got to go.
That's my mission.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. Remember, brothers and sisters, do not give up. Stay in the fight. Keep going. We're here for you. I will see you all next week. Thank you, Sue, for all you do. Bye.
Excellent. Well, we're going to do a little tag team here, because as he's going out, I've got Kurt in the background. We're going to go ahead and bring him on in. So we're going to do a little switcho changeo action here. So Kurt, welcome. How you doing?
Wow. Magic. Like shuffling the cards.
There we go. It's like musical chairs.
Hollywood Squares, knock yourself out. That's right. And I can put a face to Brian, or to Dan, I mean.
There you go.
Dan was doing work at his neighbor's house, so Dan's a little underdressed.
That's all right.
You were helping a fellow or a veteran that's nearby there.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? You made a comment, Dan, that your neighbor works with Project 22. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, Chris Acker. He runs what's called Jeeps for Vets.
He's your neighbor?
Yeah, he lives right out the back door here.
Oh my gosh. You just blew my mind. Because
do you know him?
Of him, I've heard him. I know the movie. I know all the things they rode across the country. I've got the right guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were in Milwaukee. I'm going to say that was probably 14-ish years ago. I'm trying to remember how old our daughter was at the time. That's what I'm kind of basing years on. They, with the movie that they put together, the documentary Project 22, they went across, I don't know how many different places they went to where they actually played the movie, and they were there in person answering questions. It was a big event at the Harley Museum in downtown Milwaukee, and we were there. That was the first, it might be the first and only time. I want to say I saw clips of that movie later, but we got to see the movie with a massive group of people that night. And the gentlemen were there. They were talking to everybody. They were answering questions. That's the first that I really got woken up to the fact that, the big statistic, the 22 a day. That was the first wake-up call I had was the gentleman coming through, your neighbor coming through and speaking to us like that. Okay, so sorry. You just wow.
Chris runs a group called Jeeps for Vets, and he worked with the Project 22 people. He's not the founder of it. He's part of it. Chris basically does events for veteran awareness, mostly suicide, PTSD, because that's what he suffers with. And he spends a lot of time, Jeeps for Vets, downtown Grace Lake. They close it 3-4 times a year, and you'll get about 200 Jeeps all parked in the front of the thing. It actually looks like a great Jeep commercial. All American flags, all patriotism, and they raise a lot of money, and then they donate it to 2 or 3 charities for that specific event.
Wow.
Nice.
Oddly enough, on my ride home today, that was the whole, that movie, the document, all the pieces there. Project 22 hit my mind. Like, we've been thinking about all these different people that we could potentially be reaching out to regarding the telethon this weekend, and who might be appropriate to come on in and talk. And that was one that occurred to me just today, like, oh, I should have reached out to them. And then here you actually are arm's length from the organization. It's like, wait, wow. Sometimes things
Chris has been doing a lot of stuff for a lot of years. It's part of the reason why I see his behavior, and those are the type of people I unequivocally want to work with, as opposed to I can't tell you how disappointed I am after we did a thing where we went out to about 250, 260 college kids, either junior, senior year. I interviewed them and I kind of wept for the future. I'll just say it that way.
It's a mixed bag. I work at a university, so I feel what you're saying. I know that there's a lot of potential there. They're very young yet. It depends on who you get. There's been some that have blown my socks off, and others that I'm like, oh, we got some growing to do.
Send anyone that blew your socks off our way, because we'd like to get an intern program going very strong. I'm having a hard time finding quality.
Well,
we need to talk.
Yeah. That's so funny too, because the story that I'm going to share on Saturday kind of ties into, except as a son as a freshman, but as a freshman, he was a quiet kid and very, like most freshmen in high school. Did I raise him to do your best, but he took that as an individual thing versus a team thing. And he was in a relay, and he was the last of the 4 swimmers. And if they won the relay, they would go to state. And he hit the water, and they didn't go to state. Let's just say that. And when he was getting out, I said, "So how do you feel? Did you give it your best?" He goes, "Yeah, I feel like I gave it my best, but I'm not sure about the one behind me or before me." And I said, "Well, it's not your place to worry about whether he did his best. It's do your best, and that's all that I ask of you. And own that. Don't throw him under the bus because you guys lost." And long story short, I said, think about what we talked about anyway. Now, fast forwarding it, he went through this 4-year training with the Navy Marine Base in South Shore, Milwaukee, and senior in high school, the exact same scenario. And I'm thinking, oh no, I don't want to relive this day again. This is going to be interesting to see. He's number 4 in the relay. If they win, they go to state. If they lose, they don't. And his swimming career is over with. This time, though, the person third place was a half a pool length behind him. So not only did he have to do his best, he had to make up a half a pool length too. So he hits the water and he freezes and he takes off like a bat out of heck. And he gets out of the pool. He wins. So they're going to state. He gets out of the pool and he just collapses. And I walk over to him and say, "Dude, what happened?" And he goes, "Dad, as soon as I hit the water, my calf cramped up." And I say, "Yeah, but you pulled it together and you guys are going to state." And he looked up and he smiled at the 4 years of the military training. And again, as a high school kid, not even as full force military. And he said, "Semper Fi, Dad. You take one for the team and you get it done."
Yep.
And like, wow. And just watching this progression from who he was as a freshman to who he was as a senior to who he is now as a young adult and a wildland firefighter. And it's fascinating how the impact that the training that these kids get can have.
It's amazing. People have the potential. They have it. It's in there. They can do more than they think. And sometimes you need that inspiration, that influence, that you're not just going to sit back and not bother, and blame the other guy. They're taking ownership and being that person. That I'm not from the military back. I did not serve in the military, so I can only go off of observation, what people have told me. I don't have that life experience. But what you're saying, what you're sharing is something that I've heard often, where it makes a difference. You're a different person. Dan, you were speaking to that as far as who you're looking for that you'd like to work with.
Everybody I've worked with has been a productive member of society that comes from the military. You give them a mission, they go execute it, and they come back and say, "What's next?" You give it to the regular person, basically a CO2 producer. They turn oxygen into CO2, and they're asking for what do they get for showing up every day. It's totally different as far as accountability, actions, and results.
Yeah, so true. And part of helping to launch an organization, there's 25 do's that the organization is built around. And do number 1 is be willing to do the thing to get the thing. And so many people now that I'll have a fire. So they put the wood in the fireplace. And then they say, "Okay, give me fire, give me fire, give me fire." And they forget to flame the wood. Like, create the fire and then then put the wood in. You got to do it first. Got to do the thing to get the thing.
There's some effort needed in there.
Yeah. So
Well,
true.
and Kurt, I was gonna give you a chance on the mic here. You haven't had a chance to come on in and speak to us yet. So what's on your mind?
Yes.
I know you missed the first half. I don't know if you had a chance to listen. You were coming from another meeting. So hop on in. What's on your mind?
Well, I did notice that Brian did take a moment to put in here to make sure everybody is keeping in mind our Operation Spotlight in Paducah in November for our film festival. So that's a call out for all people who can be instrumental with that. People directly involved in film. What is this here? He's got we don't say you should, it's I will. There you go.
I love that. Yeah.
So yeah, everybody that is out there that wants to help our success in November, please reach out to Sue and me. Again, Susan at projectdiehard.org and Kurt at projectdiehard.org. Feel free to call my Google Voice line or text 262-372-1754. And Sue and I happen to have a certain love for November, not just because there's also Thanksgiving in November, but also both of our birthdays are in November. So we're always out to make every November a November to remember.
Nice.
And so that Spotlight Film Festival is falling right in line to where we think we can really do quite a number. And so we got some folks that are offering to, provide the venue and do the thing with us. So that's what it's all about. As we're talking here, doing it together, teamwork makes the dream work, and so on and so forth. So, and I do want to share an experience that I had. Brian and I met through the Happy Neighborhood Project. If you're wondering what that is, you can go to happyneighborhoodproject.com, check that out. But there's another gentleman that we met through the Happy Neighborhood Project. His name is Mark Mathis, and he created a program called Reset It. And, I got quite an insight going through the sessions that Reset It offers. And it really gave insight to, what we have available within us and how the guidepost is within us. A little illustration of that is Mike and I met through Milwaukee networking. And there's a lady that was part of all that Milwaukee networking, Michelle Schmidt. And so I did a follow-up with her to have more of a one-to-one and make some plans together and so forth. And I told her, I said, Michelle, I notice your attendance is a little sporadic. Like, is there something going on in your life? It just got me curious. And her response was, folks, she said, I network from within. So kind of that resonated with me, because I had been at the same time talking to people about how with networking that it's kind of like lost sheep. It's kind of like Mike and I would find out about this networking group. Oh, so let's go find out, and our friend Nadine and everything. We'd always find, different places to go blab on about what we did and go learn about what other people are doing and get more biz intel and be more a part of the fabric of Milwaukee. Kind of cool, right? But it seemed kind of hodgepodge. And so when she said that, it's like that's really instructive to say, yeah, they're always there. They're always doing their routine. But is that your best bet for your routine? To really pay attention. What are we doing? Like growing the mission here at Project Diehard. If I go to this, that, and the other thing, and then I come back to Brian and Brian's like, what do you got? How is this going to, come in to take care of things? So Brian's got on here, just had to turn away a veteran for housing, putting their contact information with our network. So turn away for housing.
Yeah, he had to take a call while we were on here. That's why he had to hop off. And apparently there was somebody that could have used what Project Diehard will be offering in the future, but we're not there yet. We need the help. We need to get done the things that need to happen. Realistically, it's going to take money. we have to remodel the facility so that it has the ability for veterans to be able to stay there. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take money. It's going to take hands-on. There's a lot of pieces that go into that, and we're not doing it fast enough. People are needing that now, right now, like literally 10 minutes ago, the text or the call came in. We need it now, and we're not ready to be able to offer that. So that's where anyone who's part of this organization, it's like, what are we doing to make this happen? We've got the telethon this weekend. I have amazing hopes for what that might be able to do to spur things forward. With the program that Dan offers, that can be a massive impact on what we're doing. I'm really looking forward to what's coming in these next few weeks. I think there's going to be a big adjustment that we'll have to make where we can see what's coming down the pipe. It's been in the future. It's been out there somewhere, and it's coming closer and closer, that we need to be able to grab a hold of that and make that difference right now. That now's the time. Tomorrow is okay, but today's better. We need to make that difference now. So I'm excited for what that all is going to be. I think it would pay for us to just take a quick second and for people to be able to tune in on Saturday and be able to participate in what's going on. Our normal outlets, we're going to have the live streaming happening to YouTube and to Facebook and all our normal places. And additionally, it's going to be going through the website here. I'm just sharing this quick so you can see vetsinneed.org is where you can see the countdown is taking place. If you go to this website, watchlivenow.net, clicking on this will take you to the live stream of that 8-hour event. So we are four days away. It's coming really quick. Woo, that's going to be here quick. But that is where you can go to see what's going on with the event. And you can see there's a lot of players going on here. Again, Toronto for the first 2 hours. It says Chicago, but basically it's Midwest. It's us. This is our piece. Then we go to Phoenix and Los Angeles. So just want to make sure you can get to this. If this is an option to go here, better yet, you guys know how to find us on Facebook and on YouTube. If you go searching out what we're seeing things popping in here, the Watch Live Now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up so you can see it. There we go. Watch Live Now. It's going to be, again, 1 to 3 Central for specifically what we are doing, but it runs the whole day, 11 to 7. A portion of what's raised during that event will come directly to Project Die Hard to forward the mission of what is happening at Project Die Hard. So I have no idea what to expect. This is the first time we're doing it, but I know there's enough players involved and enough reach going on within the community. I mean, it's going to take all of us. If you are catching this and know that you are able to share it out, if you see it on Facebook, share it to your feed. If you see it on YouTube, from there, you can share it anywhere in your social media. It is available. It's in front of you. It's happening this Saturday. And yep, Brian's saying it right there. Better yet, show up, go to Forward Operating Base Rush, see for yourself the facility. Participate from the facility because we will be live streaming from there.
Oh, really? Ooh.
So go there. It's going to be perfect opportunity to make a difference. How easy is that? And I'm going to share. Wrong button. Go to this button. If you look up anywhere, if you can search for the hashtag PDH Pray, PDH Share, Volunteer and Patron. That is what we've been using as our hashtags. You can find out so much information about this mission by checking that out as well. But really, that is what Brian always is asking. That's what echoes in my mind. What can you do to help? First of all, you can pray for this. How easy is that? Anybody can do that. You can share this out. Sharing this is what's going to make the difference because the people that have not heard of this, if you've heard of this and people around you haven't, that's on you. All you have to do is open your mouth or hit that share button. Oh my gosh, so easy. It takes I don't know. How long does it take you to click your mouse 3 times? Hit share, hit post, you're done. Okay, that was twice. So I even made it longer than it needed to be. It takes no time at all to do that. Volunteer with us. Again, so simple to be able to make a difference by volunteering. And we are looking for donations. Straight up, we are looking for donations so that this can move forward. One thing that was promoted a while back and will be coming back more strongly is $22 a month. So in honor of that 22 number as that statistic of how many veterans that we lose daily, that is a piece that 22 a month is 22 once, or is thank you, God bless. But if you could do that every month, that is the type of thing that will keep this mission alive. So I'll get off my soapbox now, but really I want you guys to know how to tune in and be able to see all the cool things going on all day long on Saturday. So, and with our shows on Monday nights here, we are here every Monday night to do an update for everybody so that people can tune in and know what's going on with this mission. Quick reminder that on Wednesday, it's always the first Wednesday of the month, is the breakfast that takes place in Paducah, Kentucky at the IHOP. Veterans eat for free. Anyone's welcome to come though and celebrate and eat with our veterans. So please come and join the crew down there this Wednesday morning. And we always wrap up our programming here on Monday nights with all of us sharing some sort of a word of hope for our veterans. So I wonder if I can ask each of us to just what's on your mind, last thoughts to share, and again that message of hope for our veterans. So, and actually, Kurt, I'll go ahead and start with you.
All right, I'm going to come back to that idea of the power of within, and there's two parts to that. First of all, again, when I experienced that Reset program, it just was amazing how the group inspired me to really look at what I'm doing here as an ambassador of Project iHeart and the other roles I play in life for our family. Sue and I are part of a water ski club, and to just really look at how the potential of what can happen between myself and others starts right in here, right in my heart, right in my gut. And then when your mind comes into it, when you're in agreement between your mind, your heart, and your guts, your soul, you can just kind of tell when something seems to be, really positioned well for your journey in life right at that moment. And it's something to really go for when you have that. So the other part of this is that's a part that can really help our mission here and can help, other people, because like Sue said, she's not a veteran. I'm not a veteran. So all of us that aren't a veteran, what is within inside of each of you vets out there can really empower us as civilians that have never had the military experience to understand at this point in your life journey, how can we be a better part of it? We had a gentleman this morning at a posting party on a Zoom, let's call it a Zoom session, and we're telling him about Saturday. And he spoke up as an Irishman, a gentleman out of Ireland, and he's like, Kurt, can you tell me something? How is it that, the powerful country of the USA, and you have all of these problems with your veterans? Can you share that with us? Like, how can that be? And the way I responded was like, I'm like, that is the perfect segue to what we're doing here at Project iHeart and what we're doing this Saturday, what we did last weekend with Op Wisdom, what Operation Spotlight is all about. And again, to really get what people around the world are recognizing, that they're seeing what you are experiencing in some superficial way, some just kind of knowing it in a newsy way. And people want to know because people know it's not right. So help us get it right. We need your back to you, Steve.
Awesome. All right. Well, and as our guests, I would love to give you guys a chance, your final thoughts and a word of hope for our veterans. Dan, can I pass it to you next?
Yes, ma'am. I would say this as a former corporate refugee. I spent many years at Hewlett Packard chasing money, chasing everything, flying around the world, 4.5 million air miles. It doesn't mean anything, because if you look at what we are as a country, we are the land of the free, home of the brave, because of what our veterans do for us. They allow us to have that security. So I would say we could take our skill set, our abilities, our whatever we have, gifts in life, apply those to a community that has sacrificed everything for us. And it's our way of giving back to them for everything they've done for us throughout their career, throughout their lives. And it's less than, in this country, I heard it's less than 1.5% of the people that actually serve in some capacity. It's a true calling. And I would say it's up to us to recognize it, to reward it, and to give back to the community. In some cases, that has given everything for us.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Dan. Appreciate that very much. Mike, over to you.
Earlier, I shared a saying, and I'll share it once again. By ourselves, we can do amazing things, yet together, we can climb the highest mountain. That the biggest word of encouragement I can think of is we are stronger when we're together. And that's one thing that it's so easy to forget sometimes. We feel isolated, feel like we are on an island of ourselves, or that people don't understand. And oftentimes many people don't, because if you haven't walked the walk, how does one know? But yet the importance of coming together as a community and finding that we have our chosen, or we have our the family we're born into, and we have our God-given, our chosen family. And sometimes it's important to make sure that the chosen family is around us and show up and be part of that. And it's through the community where we all grow together.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Like I said, we are here every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central for the updates with Project Die Hard, Mission Monday update. Perfect. Contact info, contact info down there. So reach out to us. We have, again, that breakfast is on Wednesday. The telethon is on Saturday, and so much more to come. Fill the Can is going on all the way from Memorial Day until Independence Day. So please tune in with that. If you would like to have your own virtual can to help raise money for what's going on here with Project Die Hard, reach out to me directly. I will help you get that set up. Just reach out, Susan at projectdiehard.org. And my last word from the song that Torrin Wells sings that seems like it comes on every time I turn on K-Love. God's not done with you yet. Remember that. You're here for a reason. God's not done with you yet. Stick around, find out more. We are here. We're here for you. Know that there's a whole team of people here for you, and let us know how we can help. And with that, we look forward to seeing you back here next week, same time, 6:30 p.m.